Sure. So, understanding my background and how links used to work then, I was very cautious now because of what happened then. However, I did want to build links the right way or, the best way possible for the site to grow faster. So I kind of focused on three type of links. The first one was guest posts, second one was niche edits, and the last one was just building Web 2.0 links. Now I know Web 2.0 links have like the more spammy type of background, but what I did with those when my site first launched, and I'm talking my site had like 20 articles, I hired a writer for like $6 a thousand words, and they just produced original content about my topic, create a bunch of Web 2.0s that had 3 to 5 pages. And those were like my foundational type of links. Built about 10 of them up front. And then from that point onward, everything was just guest posts, niche edits, and having actual links from the businesses I was writing about. So guest posting, I went about that where I tried to save as much money as I could early on to really help with the content later on. But I reached out directly to websites in my industry and said, hey, can I write an article for you? Or, hey, this topic could really help you bring some traffic. I almost like when I did my outreach, I tried to be different. And what I would first do is not only I'd introduce myself, but I'd say, hey, I have experience writing articles that can rank in Google. This could bring you traffic. This helps you because you want more visitors. This helps me because I'm trying to build a blog that has no authority yet, without saying the word authority. And people were actually pretty receptive to that. I had this one small business across the country that was actually willing to have me write a page on their website about a topic within my space. And they gave me author credit at the bottom and they gave me a backlink to my website, which was awesome. So that was like an early link early on. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, time to scale this up. Let's get some links. And I started buying niche edits and guest posts, probably around 10 or 15 a month. Obviously, it all wasn't in one day, but through over the course of a month, I'd get about 10 to 15, probably DA authority, 40, 50 plus. I tried to get really high quality, expensive links because I knew I wanted to have like a cleaner site that just had powerful, respected links within my niche. Tried to keep everything within the niche.
Okay. Very good. And for the Web 2.0s, I'm just going to define a couple of things for folks that don't know. So the Web 2.0s are going to be like free blog sites that you can like spawn up. So it's like WordPress.com. And usually it would be like, some like Charlie's website dot WordPress.com, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you did something like 10 of those or so, got a few pages. And these were a lot more common back in the day. And I think nowadays, I usually don't recommend it, but I know people still use them. And it sounds like there's no ill effects with what you've done there. So the other part is the niche edits. So for people that don't know, can you describe what those are?
Sure. So I had a provider that I used that provided niche edits. And what they would do is rather than creating a guest post, which is like a new page or a new article, they'd go find something within my topic that they can add a backlink to. So maybe it was a news article from 2017 on a reputable website, and they could say, okay, rather than not having a link there, let's link to my website. And I would pay a pretty good premium for those links, but my goal was to order in bulk. So I kind of told my provider, hey, I'm buying this many links over the next 2 or 3 months, and I did get a more like a wholesale discount. But those links are great because not only are you getting your site on a high authority site with traffic potentially, but those pages already have like link juice built up. So if they're done strategically and on older websites, like you can get link juice that's been building up for, who knows, 8 or 10 years right to your site right off the bat. So it can be pretty effective. And I think that was a little element to my growth early on from those links once they started kicking in.
Perfect. For the guest post, you mentioned that you actually just did outreach and you sort of gave a different kind of pitch than what people normally would see. So I'm curious, did you send these to businesses or to more like bloggers?
So the first outreach was to only bloggers. And then once I kind of like saturated my space or sites I actually wanted to be on within my space, I kind of ran out of ground. So my next approach, and I only kind of did this once, was I actually wrote an article specifically for outreach. And what it did was it was a review type of article for businesses within my area. And I reached out to all the businesses in my area and I heard back from about four of them. And the question is, oh, like, how'd you reach out to them? Like, I even went on Facebook for some of them and they were responding to me on Facebook and saying, like, oh, great article. Like, thanks for sharing. And then I'd either reply back, like, oh, like, I'm happy to work with you guys in the future and, write another article about you guys. And what I started noticing is they were adding my article link or my homepage and my website onto their like resources page and like tools tab, which was kind of neat. I was getting like a free backlink without even asking for it or paying for it. And I was building some credibility in my community.
Perfect. And just to make sure I understood, so you would like write a review article about a company and then you would send it to them because it was a positive review and they're like, hey, this is fantastic. Is that basically what was going on?
Yeah, I first started the article as 3 reviews and it wound up being like 1,000 words. And then I started saying, okay, every paragraph I write, not only is it more content for the page to rank, but it's another firm I can reach out to. So I started doing a review on like 10 or 15 places and I emailed them all. Or Facebook outreach and only got about 4 replies, but 3 of them became links, which was great.
Perfect. That's amazing. And how long after you started your site did you start sort of outreach like this to real people? No paid stuff, but just real outreach to people.
That was within the first month. It was all of it was within the first 2 months, but I figured in my head there was no reason to wait on that because nothing I was doing was shady or something that Google wouldn't like. I was making real connections and talking to small businesses. And I think a lot of those areas or businesses that I would talk to, their locations kind of matched up with the first couple articles on my site. So it all like kind of made sense.
Perfect. Charlie, this is amazing because I see, YouTube is just, it's a mess out there sometimes, you know how it is, but there's a lot of folks that, they're like, it's totally unnatural for a new website to get links. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit because anyone who's a marketer is going to go out and promote their site and network within their niche. And if they've been around the block, they have a network already. So they're going to promote stuff. Yeah, it's totally natural to get backlinks and promote your site. So it just doesn't make sense to me why people think that, hey, yeah, I'm going to start a new site and then I'm going to not tell anyone about it for the next 6 months. Stupidest thing in the world. Any comments on that rant?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I actually, obviously, since my past backlink experience back in 2012, 2013, I was really cautious. And I actually saw someone make a good point. They said with the coronavirus going on, think of all these new coronavirus websites, whether statistics or, informational, they're all coming out here. They're not really ranking for any keywords right away, but they're getting tens and hundreds of thousands of links a month right now. You think they're going to get penalized? Like, no, as long as they're credible and good links and things were done correctly, like it's fine. Like there's going to be bad links in there, but there's going to be so many good links that Google's going to say, this site, we have to look at it. Like we have to see what's going on.
Right.
So that kind of said to me, like, if they're getting links like crazy, me putting up 10 or 15 links a month is more than fine. And I've actually probably put up roughly 20 links a month altogether.
And do you have any sort of like guideline on how quickly you'll build those links? Do you have any benchmarks that helps guide that?
So outside of me just outsourcing the links on like the first day of the month for that month, I really don't. When I tell my provider for the links, I say, please try and do outreach or the niche edits over the course of the month. I don't want them all in one day. But I think getting paranoid over, spacing out every 2 days, 3 days is a little too much. I'm not saying build all 30 links in one day, but like think about it. What would a natural website do? If they had an article go viral, they might get half of their links for that month in those 2 days. So that was kind of my approach, and just not worry about little things like that. Just build good links, quality links, and try and be on websites that I thought could help my website grow.